Would you dare sleep in a room where someone never checked out, where the last guest is still hanging around, and I don't mean in the lobby bar? We're about to dive into the top 10 most haunted hotels around the world, places where you can book a room, but checking out, well, that's not guaranteed for everyone. These aren't just ghost stories. These are real hotels with real rooms you can book right now. From flickering lights to phantom footsteps, these places are not for the faint of heart, but hey, who needs a good night's sleep when you can have a good ghost story, right? So grab your EMF reader, pack your courage, and maybe a nightlight, and let's get into it. We're kicking off our spooky staycation in Eureka Springs, Arkansas at the Crescent Hotel. This place has been dubbed America's most haunted hotel, which, let's be honest, is a bold claim, but when you hear the stories, you might just agree. It actually housed a fake cancer hospital back in the day, run by a total quack, Dr. Baker. Baker was known for peddling miracle cures that, shocker, didn't work. Guests today report seeing ghostly figures in Victorian-era clothing roaming the halls. Some even say they've encountered the spirit of Dr. Baker himself. One of the most active spots is room 218, where a patient named Theodora supposedly spends her afterlife. The Crescent Hotel is definitely creepy, but is it the most haunted in America? Well, that's up for debate. From the US, we're hopping across the pond to Northern Ireland, where nestled along the rugged Antrim coast, you'll find Ballygally Castle. Legend has it that Lady Isabel Shaw, the wife of one of the castle's former lords, met a rather unfortunate end within these walls. Isabel was locked away in a tower by her own husband after she gave birth to a daughter. Devastated and desperate, Isabel tried to escape, only to fall to her death from the tower window. Guests and staff alike have reported strange occurrences, like unexplained knocks on their doors in the dead of night, icy drafts, and the faint sound of a woman weeping. Some even claim to have seen Isabel herself, a shadowy figure in a flowing white gown, gliding through the castle halls. Maybe Isabel's just searching for her lost daughter, or maybe she's looking for a little payback on her jerk husband. Either way, Ballygally Castle is definitely not for the faint of heart. Next stop, we're heading to the Canadian Rockies, where luxury meets the afterlife at the Fairmont Banff Springs. The story goes that a young bride on her wedding day met a tragic end on the grand staircase. Some say her dress caught fire, others whisper she tripped and fell, but the end result is the same: a life cut tragically short. Guests and staff have reported seeing an ethereal figure in a flowing white gown gracefully waltzing in the ballroom, her laughter echoing through the empty space. Others claim to have seen her on the staircase, her white dress billowing as she descends into darkness. The Fairmont Banff Springs is definitely a popular honeymoon destination, but just remember, you might not be alone on the dance floor. From the chilly peaks of Canada, we're heading south to sunny Arizona, to a place where old Hollywood glamour meets ghostly apparitions. Welcome to the Hotel Monte Vista, a historic landmark in Flagstaff that's hosted a star-studded guest list. Both living and, well, not so much. Guests have reported all sorts of strange occurrences, from flickering lights and televisions turning on by themselves to disembodied voices and phantom footsteps echoing through the halls. One of the most persistent stories is that of a bellboy who still roams the halls, eager to assist guests who are, well, long gone. Some say he's harmless, just doing his job for eternity. Others say he's got a mischievous streak and likes to play pranks on unsuspecting guests. Room 210 is said to be particularly active. Guests have reported feeling a presence in the room, as if someone is watching them. Hotel Monte Vista is a reminder that even in the bright lights of Hollywood, some shadows never fade. Back across the pond we go, this time to London, a city steeped in history and, you guessed it, ghost stories. And there's no place more notorious for spectral sightings than the Langham Hotel. The Langham is said to be home to at least 5 resident ghosts, each with their own spooky story to tell. There's the Victorian-era doctor who, in a fit of jealous rage, murdered his wife during their honeymoon at the hotel. They say he haunts room 333, and guests have reported seeing a shadowy figure lurking in the corner of their eyes. Then there's the ghost of a German prince who, heartbroken after being jilted at the altar, decided to end it all by leaping from a window. His spirit is said to wander the halls, searching for his lost love. With so many ghosts roaming the halls, it's no wonder the Langham is considered one of the most haunted hotels in the world. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this next one isn't for the faint of heart. We're venturing to Latvia, to a place where the chills aren't just from the Baltic Sea breeze. Welcome to Karosta Prison Hotel, a former Soviet military prison that's been transformed into a hotel. But be warned, this isn't your typical overnight stay. Guests have reported all sorts of unsettling experiences, from hearing the clanging of chains and disembodied footsteps in the dead of night to blood-curdling screams echoing through the empty cells. Some guests have even claimed to have been touched or pushed by unseen forces. Now, if you're feeling brave, you can even opt for the extreme night experience, where you get to spend the night locked in a real prison cell. Just remember, you're basically volunteering to spend the night in a place where countless souls suffered and died. So if you hear something go bump in the night, it's probably best not to ask who's there. Alright horror fans, this next one's for you. We're heading back to the US, to the majestic Rocky Mountains of Colorado, to a place that inspired one of the most iconic horror films of all time, the Stanley Hotel. Stephen King himself drew inspiration for The Shining after a stay in room 217. He claimed to have seen ghostly children playing in the hallways and heard phantom music echoing from the empty ballroom. People have reported seeing apparitions of the hotel's original owners, F.O. and Flora Stanley, still keeping a watchful eye on their beloved establishment. Some guests have even claimed to have encountered the ghost of a former housekeeper who likes to unpack their bags and fold their clothes. But the most unsettling reports come from the 4th floor, where children are said to giggle and run through the hallways, their laughter echoing through the night. From the chilling heights of the Rockies, we're traveling to the serene Swedish countryside, to a place where love and tragedy intertwine. Toftaholm Herrgård, this picturesque manor house turned hotel holds a secret, a tale of forbidden love and a broken heart that continues to haunt its halls. The story goes that a young peasant boy fell head over heels for the Baron's beautiful daughter, but their love was forbidden, a classic tale of star-crossed lovers. Heartbroken and desperate, the young man took his own life, unable to bear the thought of a life without his beloved. Guests have reported strange and unsettling occurrences, particularly in and around room 324, the very room where the young man took his own life. Objects have a peculiar habit of moving on their own. Doors slam shut as if guided by an unseen hand, and whispers of despair seem to emanate from the walls themselves. We're approaching the grand finale of our haunted hotel tour, and trust me, we've saved the best, or should I say, the most terrifying, for last. Get ready to be transported to the Loire Valley in France, to a place where history and horror collide. Chateau de Brissac. This stunning castle, with its towering turrets and sprawling vineyards, harbors a dark secret within its ancient walls. It's the legend of the Green Lady, a tragic figure whose mournful cries are said to echo through the castle even now. They say she was the mistress of King Charles VII back in the 15th century. Consumed by jealousy, the king's wife had the poor Green Lady brutally murdered within the castle walls. Her spirit, forever bound to the castle, is said to roam the halls, her face eternally frozen in a mask of terror and pain. If you're brave enough to spend a night at Chateau de Brissac, listen closely. You just might hear the Green Lady's mournful cries, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind even the most beautiful facades. And for our final stop, we're setting sail to Long Beach, California, to a place where the spirits of the sea linger long after the tide has turned. Welcome aboard the Queen Mary, a legendary ocean liner that's been transformed into a luxurious hotel. But beneath the glitz and glamour lies a history shrouded in mystery and tragedy. Guests have reported all sorts of unexplained phenomena, from flickering lights and disembodied voices to shadowy figures lurking in the shadows and objects moving on their own. One of the most haunted areas of the ship is said to be the first-class swimming pool. People have reported seeing the ghosts of children playing on the deck, their laughter echoing through the empty pool area. Then there's the infamous Door 13, located in the ship's bowels. Legend has it that a sailor met a gruesome end when he was crushed by the door during a routine drill. The Queen Mary is a floating museum of maritime history, but it's also a stark reminder that for some, death is just the beginning of a longer voyage. So there you have it, folks, the top 10 haunted hotels from around the world. These places welcome you, and the spirits that never left. So, which one would you choose to sleep in? Personally, I'd rather take my chances with a cheap motel and a questionable continental breakfast. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this ghostly adventure, and subscribe for more creepy content. And let me know in the comments which hotel creeped you out the most. Until next time, sleep tight, if you dare.